Chapter 22. Prepare to send the code. Outside time. Location. Department of Progressions. Heaven's Realm. Third Dimension. Enoch was just digging into a plate of fresh manna when the beloved walked in. "Are you busy?" asked the beloved. Enoch sighed and put the plate away, knowing he would regret choosing food over whatever the beloved had in mind. "Not anymore," Enoch said cheerfully. "What's up?" "I have exciting news," said the beloved as he plopped into the chair next to Enoch. "The council is ready to send the code to Adama." Enoch had a blank look on his face. "Remember I told you, beloved?" "Okay," said Enoch slowly. "I kind of remember, but not really." The beloved sighed. "The code will guide people to do what the seed will do when he comes. Then, when the seed comes, their example will spark his destiny and remind him of what he is to do. They will serve as clues or confirmation, so to speak." "What?" asked Enoch. "I am going to leave myself clues in the code so I can remember who I am and know what to do when I come to Adama." "Oh," said Enoch. "Why will you need confirmation?" asked Enoch. "You should already know what to do because this is your plan." "Not so," said the beloved. My father and the council has agreed that in order for the reconciliation to be justified, the seed must experience life on Adama the same way as any other son of Adam. That means no special knowledge, no superpowers, no multidimensional travel." Enoch said, You mean to tell me that you won't know who you are when you become a man?" "Not at all," said the beloved. "I will use the code to find out the same way all men have to use the code to find their purpose in life." "Isn't that kind of risky?" asked Enoch. "You know you can't make even one tiny little mistake. You'll have to be perfect to qualify as a sacrifice. That is a lot to ask. What if you fail?" "I won't fail," replied the beloved. "My father is confident I will succeed. He has great faith in me." "But how can you be so sure?" asked Enoch. "I have faith too," said the beloved. "So how will you convince the sons of Adam you are the seed they have been waiting?" "I will do mighty wonders," said the beloved. "Wait a minute. You said you would not use any of your powers," reminded Enoch. "And I won't," said the beloved. He grinned. "I will use my Father's power. As I pray, fast, and obey the code, my Father will make his power available to me, just like he makes it available to any man who seeks him." "This is just too much," said Enoch. "I still don't understand how you will accomplish this in the flesh." The one mind entered the room, filling it with fiery light. "Soon you will understand, Enoch," said the one mind. "Let us begin." The beloved kicked back in the chair while the one mind took over. "First," said the one mind, "we will narrow our scope to the offspring of young Peleg. You remember him, don't you?" "Of course," said Enoch, straightening up. "He's the one who prayed the Tower of Babel down in the plains of Shinar." "Exactly," said the one mind. "He has already been instructed in the history of Adam and the prophecy of the seed. Now he just needs to instruct his children, which I am confident he will do based on his past performance. So then we are here today to teach you how to identify potential markers from Peleg's tribe." The one mind paused and stared at him for a while. The beloved looked amused. "Yes?" asked Enoch. He had the feeling he was missing something. "You might want to get something to take notes," said the one mind. Flames burst from him and through him until everything in the room was on fire. He gave Enoch a sharp look. "This is an important part of your training, and I expect you to take this seriously." Enoch glanced over at the beloved Enoch had left on his desk. The beloved shrugged and kept flipping pages. Enoch ran to his desk drawer and grabbed a tablet and pen. "Jot this down," said the one mind. "There are 3 characteristics every marker will display. You are to search diligently for these characteristics among Peleg's offspring. They are: number 1, obedience; number 2, humility; and number 3, sacrifice." "Yes, Lord," said Enoch, writing dutifully. "It is noted. When you find a male from the tribe of Peleg demonstrating these 3 characteristics, alert me at once and I will schedule testing." Certainly, my lord," said Enoch. He really wanted to ask more about testing, but this didn't seem to be the right moment to bother the one mind. The one mind stared at him. "So I see you're wondering about the test, no?" Enoch dropped his head and tried to ignore the red flush of color flowing into the room from his cheeks. The One Mind laughed. Very well, Enoch, said the One Mind. I normally do not share all of the reasoning behind our test to one so young, but he paused and looked over at the Beloved. They are just so cute at this point, aren't they? Indeed they are, said the Beloved. I think it is fine to explain it to him. We are, said the One Mind. He paused. Are you jotting this down? Certainly, my lord. Enoch picked up his pen again and began writing furiously. Now the 3 men must all display the 3 qualities I mentioned before, humility, obedience, and sacrifice, over a span of 3 generations. Okay, Enoch kept writing. Well, that shouldn't be too hard to find. Also, those 3 men must each have a spouse that needs a miracle to conceive a child. Okay, got it, said Enoch. And those 3 men must all be men of prayer, said the One Mind. Mumbled Enoch, writing quickly to catch up. The One Mind added, and those 3 men must have faith that perseveres over a long period of time, or a faith that doesn't fail even in the midst of immense hardship. Did you get all of that? Asked the One Mind. Sure, said Enoch. A list. Yes, thank you, said the One Mind. It is a perfect list. Enoch looked at the Beloved. The Beloved just smiled. Now, continued the One Mind, when you have found the first male from the tribe of Peleg who qualifies, let me know at once and I will schedule the test. Pardon me, One Mind, said Enoch. I don't mean to push my bounds, but you did mention that you would tell me what the test would be. Just this once. Oh, of course, said the One Mind. The first man must be willing to sacrifice his only son. That is the test. When Enoch thought of all Adama and who might do such a thing, he dared speak again. Do you think that is expecting too much from mere men? Well, shouldn't a perfect son be the sacrifice required to buy back a perfect son? Asked the One Mind. When you put it that way, said Enoch, I guess the test sounds reasonable. Of course it is, the voice continued. If you can find 1 man willing to do that, then the Hidden Father will sacrifice his perfect son. Now, jot this down too. That man's son must be a willing sacrifice. Okay, I get it, said Enoch. He must display humility, obedience. Exactly, answered the voice. Oh, and one more thing. The son willing to be the sacrifice must have a son that values the sacrifice and is willing to fight for it. Okay, said Enoch. Is there anything else? Well, of course, said the One Mind. There's lots more after that. I need an innocent young man willing to go to prison to save his family, a woman willing to give up her child to save him, a man willing to forsake wealth and power and even go to Sheol to deliver his people, a woman who will leave mother, father, and country to show loyalty to her husband's family, a young man willing to fight a giant with nothing but faith, a young man willing to give up all his wealth in pursuit of wisdom, and just when Enoch thought the spirit was done, he added, and that's not all. You will also be sent on missions to many of these people, always with an escort, of course. One cannot be too careful traveling to and fro with that wicked one and his fallen star still roaming Adama and the second heaven. The One Mind went on and on like this for quite some time. Eventually, Enoch fainted and the 2 flames came and took him away for more adjustments. So the Beloved told the One Mind that he thought it might be best to just leave Enoch a note. Agreed, said the spirit. I did notice that he seems to like taking notes. The Beloved wrote, Dear Enoch, I realize the task before you is overwhelming. It is supposed to be. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, just come to me. That is why I am here. Do not worry. We will help you. Until the Beloved. P.S. If you believe, you will do great and mighty things. Outside time, Enoch's abode, heaven's realm, 3rd dimension. Enoch was resting comfortably in his bed, his very fluffy and soft bed in his abode in God's rest. Enoch patted the pillow behind him, fell back into it, and sighed. He stared out the transparent wall. The view was breathtaking. From his chamber he could see far into the beyond, which meant the high reaches of the ancient mountains. The glimmer from there drew where Enoch's apartment was. The accommodations, the land, the flowers, the trees, the climate, the beings were all superior here, and especially the beloved, the Spirit, and the Father. Knowing them brought more joy than he had ever imagined. Enoch sighed again. There was only one small thing missing. Enoch heard a knock on the door. "Come in," he said absently. "It must be one of the ministers coming to check on me after that last adjustment." To his surprise, the beloved walked through the door. "See, Enoch," he said, grinning, "I knocked and used the door." "I am truly amazed," said Enoch, glad to share this inside joke with the one called Wonderful. "You could have just walked through the wall. I don't mind." The beloved said, "Ah, you are longing." "Yes," said Enoch, "I really do appreciate, well, more than appreciate, I absolutely love everything about Heaven's Realm and my job here. I have never felt more fulfilled." "Good," said the beloved. "But you are missing something, no?" "Well, yes," said Enoch. "It is my son, Methuselah. I wonder about him frequently. I know we scheduled the cleansing of Adama and eventually everything will work out. But I want to know specifically about his life. I wasn't to speak to him when I left him my garment. I know he was disappointed. I just want to see how he was doing. But then I also felt guilty about the longing because you are all so good to me." "Do not feel guilty about the longing, Enoch," said the beloved. "We could have removed all memories of Adama and the ties to your loved ones, but we wanted you to experience what we feel. We felt having those emotions would help you make the very best decisions with regards to progression 1704. "How so?" asked Enoch. "The longing you feel is just a very tiny amount of the longing we feel for our children," explained the beloved. "Just as you have our sons and daughters trapped on Adama, we long to bring each and every one of them home here." Enoch looked at the beloved with new understanding. "So we are your children and you really love us?" "Yes," said the beloved, smiling gently, "and I am glad to at least have you home." The beloved walked over to the transparent wall and called for I-1704. "Come," said the beloved. Enoch hopped out of bed and went over to the beloved by the window. Together they looked out into the beyond. "I'll show you what I do whenever I long for one of my children," he said. The beloved pulled up I-1704 onto the wall and swiped until he came to the first dimension, Adama, the Seti of Seth, and then the Seti of Nod, and finally he positioned his hand over the place called El Tava and zoomed in. "You may watch Methuselah's progress whenever you want," said the beloved. "Now you can't enter into Adama without specific permission and instructions, but you can watch as much as you like." Enoch smiled. "Thank you," he said. "May I?" Enoch pointed towards the wall. "Sure," said the beloved. "Sit." At his word, two really comfortable chairs with wheels appeared before them. "Shall we watch together?" "Indeed," said Enoch, getting excited. "You know what would be good right now?" Before he could finish speaking, two bowls appeared on the table full of yellow fluffy things that looked like thick flower petals. "What's that?" asked Enoch. "Trust me," said the beloved, putting a handful into his mouth. "You'll like it. They make it in future Adama. It is called popcorn." Enoch shoved some into his mouth and nodded. It's good."